So, hello everyone. I hope everyone is having a good day, especially my platform technologies instructor. I'll share with you today what I learned about the round robin scheduling. This was our previous topic. My quantum units are equivalent to 3 units and the round robin scheduling has a quantum unit. So, I'll share with you today my solution on how to solve the round robin scheduling. And these are my processes: P1, P2, P3, P4, and P5, and their arrival time and the burst time. The arrival time of P1 is 0 and the burst time of 8, while P2 is the arrival time of 2 and the burst time of 5. Then the P3, the arrival time of 3 and the burst time of 4. And the P4 is the arrival time of 5 and the burst time of 3. And last, the P5, the arrival time of 6 and the burst time of 2. If the CPU scheduling policy round robin with the quantum equals to 3 units, calculate the average waiting time and the average turnaround time. So this is my solution on solving the round robin scheduling. And these are the processes: the arrival time, the burst time, the turnaround time, and the waiting time. And this is my Gantt chart. And the ready queue where the processes is ready to execute to the Gantt chart. So first is, so why P1 is our ready queue? Because at the time 0, P1 arrive. So that P1 is our first in the ready queue or head of the ready queue. Then P1 execute into the Gantt chart. Then we see this that P1 need to execute at the 3 units because we only have 3 units quantum. Then at the time of 1, they have no execution or they have no arrival time. But at the time 2, P2 arrive at the time 2. So that P2 will be put in the ready queue. Then P1 need to continue to execute. Why? Because we have 3 quantum units. So that P1 only have 3 seconds to execute. That's why we put here 3, because P1 just only 3 seconds executed. Next is the P2. P2 is here in our ready queue. So that P2 will be put here in the Gantt chart to proceed to execution. But at the time to 2 seconds, the P2 arrives. But at the time 3 seconds, P3 arrives. But as what I said, we have a quantum units of 3. So that we only put the P3 in the ready queue. And the next of the P3 is the P1. Why P1? Because P1 is preemptive. Preemptive because hindi natin na-execute ang P1 of her burst time. Because dumating si P2 at the 2 seconds. Then P3 execute into the Gantt chart. Then ready to execute. But we have 4 burst time of P3. So that we only need to execute at 3 units. Because we use atom units of it. So next is so that's why here we only put 9. Why 9? Because 6 plus 3 equals 9. Then the next is P1. Why P1? Because P1 is preemptive now. So P1 execute to the Gantt chart. Then at the time 4, P1 execute. At the time 5, P4 arrived. So P4 will be proceed into the ready queue. But P1 needs to execute at the 3 units. That's why 9 plus 3 equals 12. So next, P4 is here in our ready queue and executed into the Gantt chart. Then at the time 5, the P4 arrived. Then at the time 6, P5 arrives. But we need to execute of P4 into 3 units so that P5 will be put in the ready queue. The next of the P5 will be the P2 because P2 is the preemptive also. Why preemptive? Because we only execute here of 3 seconds. That's why we have the balance of 2. And the next is the P3. Why P3? Because we have also a balance of 1. And the last is the P1. Because these 3 is preemptive. So, let's continue. So, P4 execute into the Gantt chart and P4 has only 3 burst time so that our quantum unit will suit to P4. So that 12 plus 3 equals 15. The next will be the P5 because at the time 6, P5 arrived. So, P5 will be executed into the Gantt chart. Then, P5 has only burst time of 2. So that we only execute P5 into 2 seconds. But we have 3 units. So, P5 execute at 2 seconds. That's why 15 plus 2 equals 17. So, next will be the P2 here, where here, next to P5 in the ready queue. So, P2 is ready to execute into the Gantt chart. Then, we only have 2 balance of P2 in the burst time. So that the P2 execute at 2 seconds only. So 17 plus 2 equals 19. The next will be the P3 where here in our ready queue. Then the ready to execute in the Gantt chart. But P3 has only 1 balance. That's why P3 execute at 1 seconds. Why 19 plus 1 equals 20. And the last is the P1. P1, we have the balance of P1 of 2 seconds. So that 20 plus 2 equals 22. And now, we will solve the turnaround time and the waiting time. So, the turnaround time is equal to completion time minus arrival time. And the waiting time is equal to turnaround time minus burst time. So, our completion time of P1 is 22. The completion time of P2 is 19. The completion time of P3 is 20. And the completion time of P4 is 15. And the last is the completion time of P5 is 17. So, 22 minus the arrival time of 0 is equal to 22. Then the P2 is the completion time of 19 minus the arrival time of 2 equals 17. Then the P3 is 20 minus the arrival time of 3 is equal to 17. Then next is the P4, the completion time of 15 minus the arrival time of 5 equals 10. And the last is the P5, the completion time of 17 minus the arrival time of 6 is equal to 11. That's how we solve the turnaround time. Then, let's proceed to the waiting time. Waiting time is equal, what I've said is equal to turnaround time minus burst time. So, 22 22 minus burst time of 8 is equal to 14. Then P2 has turnaround time of 17 minus burst time of 5 is equal to 12. Then P3, turnaround time of 17 minus burst time of 4 equals 13. P4, turnaround time of 10 and the minus burst time of 3 is equal to 7. And the last is the turnaround time of 11 minus burst time of 5 of the P5 is equal to 9. So this is the average of turnaround time and the waiting time. How we will solve this? We need to add all the turnaround time and divide it into 5. So 22 plus 17 plus 17 plus 10 plus 11 is equal to 77. Divide 5 is equal to 15.4 units. And the waiting time is 14 plus 12 plus 13 plus 7 plus 9 is equal to 55. Divide 5 is equal to 11 units. And that's all. Thank you for watching my video.